I think Kenya has spent over 9 billion. Money we are supposed to buy drugs for HIV. We are taking that money from the budget to go and fund Haiti. A poor country like Kenya, funding a UN mission, hoping to be paid by who? Once the budget is done, all that projects, they should be published by the counties, showing the amount of money that's going to take, whether that money is exchequer or a loan from World Bank or a grant, because that's where corruption is. The loans and grants. Nobody audits them. Auditor General says, I can only audit taxpayers' money. Who audits all this money? That is where corruption is. Those are the things we saw. And we said, can we be serious?
Are you telling me, having been the head of government delivery system, that right now you can confirm we don't have a working system where we can be able to check out the government deliveries?
There is nothing like that. That is what was refused. Because I said, can every CS sign that these are the projects they are doing? And they have been funded by who? Every CS to take responsibility and sign against the project. The act is so clear, you must not be a state officer. Then you come like 10 state officers interviewed. But you can do that deliberately because the aim here, we are seeing, you delay that, August comes. Then you are like, no, we cannot have elections in the 2 years because there's no IEBC. And you know, in the Senate today, there's a bill that is alive to move the term limits.
Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of LNS. My name is Lynn Ngugi, and as always, we get to meet again for another thought-provoking conversation where we get to do the 3 things that we are doing this year. We are learning and relearning. Talking of which, I know a lot of you guys have asked, why are we in Haiti? What is happening in our country today matters system and structures, and also tunaenda wapi as a country. And I'm happy that today we get an amazing guest who is going to walk us through this conversation as he educates us on matters governance, that is good governance, and also tells us why are we in Haiti, why is there a delay in voter registration, and also when it comes to IEBC, what is happening. I'm about to let him introduce himself so that he can walk us through this conversation. But before I do that, allow me to say thank you to our partners of today's conversation, that is TapTap. So if you are watching this from diaspora and you want to send money to your loved ones back at home, why don't you try TapTap? And also by using my promo code Lynn, you are able to get yourself a cashback on the figures that are appearing on your screen. Remember, they are fast, they are reliable, and they also have great rates for you in case you're catching this from diaspora. And also, in case you want to send money to buy a piece of land, you can also talk to our partners at Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. I honestly appreciate the support that you have given these guys. And just a reminder, this is a land selling company that has properties across Kenya, that is in Malindi, Makutano, Matu, and also Masinga. So if you are looking into owning that piece of land, why don't you talk to them? I have visited their properties. They have great amenities. Some of them are actually really close to the tarmac, but they'll be able to give you more details if you call the numbers that are appearing on your screen. And also to say thank you to our amazing subscribers. You guys, you make this happen by being active participants of our work. And in case you are new here, karibu sana to Team LNN. And also thank you to the team members that gets to make this happen. And now, of course, without further ado, please allow me to let our guest introduce himself so that he can be able to walk us through today's conversation.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Peter Mbae. I am several things, but mainly I'm a leadership and governance expert. My passion is leadership and governance, systems, processes, how things should work, respect for institutions. That's my passion because that's a very important thing. And of course, the link between government and politics, because governments are created from politics. It's that process of politics that produce governments. But how do they work together? The relationship between politics, leadership, and government. Or if you like, politics, leadership, and governance. That is my pet area. And of course, I'm a passion and an expert on peace and security. It's a very big area, how peace relates to conflict, how we should prevent conflict first by pursuing peace, and where conflict comes in. In a nutshell, peace should be pursued at all costs in everywhere, be it in families, in trade, in politics, in war, because conflict is very expensive.
Yes.
So I consider myself that person who understands all these kind of things. I'm passionate about leadership. I have not only studied, but practiced. You know, you can be an expert, you can be a political scientist who talks about governance, but you don't know the link between that and politics. So I have not only studied up to the highest level about things I'm talking about, but also practiced all through my public life for the last 15 or so years.
Okay.
So yeah, that's who I am, and that's my area. Yeah.
So let me ask, what's your why? Because every time we see someone passionate about something, it's because there is a why. For you, what's your why? Why do you do what you do and so passionately?
For the simple reason is, one, the why a lot of things happen, like you asked, is because people don't have motivation. They don't know. There's no particular reason they can say they are doing what they are doing. Now, for me, I put myself in a situation whereby we have so many people, millions of people who don't know, who have no direction, who doesn't understand these things, right? But sometimes when, especially we're in leadership, we don't think, we take it like it's a lordship thing. We don't see it like it's a servant leadership thing. We load it over people, you know? We load it over people. Immediately, you always see when people are making, you know, they're doing politics and all that and looking for votes, their language is very different from what happens many times when they get in, you know? Somebody will go to church, for example, you know, lift their hands, pray, and say, please vote for me. Immediately they are voted in, they change completely. Completely. And I always tell people, nobody changes. People don't change. You know, grown-ups don't change. Personality don't change. What they do is they come and masquerade, you know. They put in some other, you know, clothing that, you know, I'm nice, I'm so and so. Then when they move out there, and I am against this kind of, what I would call always called political conmanship, deceit, you know, this kind of thing. You know, some kind of that comes up here, I'll come lie to you, then you vote me in, then does it, you know, then I'll change immediately. Whatever good you thought you saw in me is no longer there. And I'm saying it ought not to be that way. That's not how it should be. And I'm saying we need people who can come and genuinely talk to people. Governments or individuals, they are voted in and they stick to that line. Yes. They genuinely offer services. They genuinely come and ask, okay, you voted me in. What did you want me to do from a point of leadership? But many people come, then they get into a primitive accumulation of wealth. They begin, you know, like we agreed ABCD. They begin putting deals. They begin getting corrupt. And people learn away. Every day that's happened, there's a distance between the voters and the people in power because of that deceit, that conmanship, you know, that betrayal.
Yes.
It's so much. And so, for me, I have been very consistent. In the past, I've learned for elections. I have won, others have lost. I've served in governments, both county for 10 years. I've served in the national government in various capacities. And I can tell you, I know the nexus. I know what ought to be, what ought not to be, and I'm trying to rally people, as many people as possible. Guys, please don't give up. Kenyans, you cannot afford to give up on life, because you may say you give up, but there's another election. So it's for you to know how to handle the whole thing. But people are so disappointed. You know, you are like, we thought we had hopes. Then I'm telling them, look here, you can't give up. But the mistake that happened, you guys, you need to see through someone. Don't look at the 3 months, 6 months before elections. When people come with big vehicles, some of them hired anyway, you know, you just go mobilize and say, I have 20, 30, 40 million. For me, if I can go ABCD, look for this kind of women and these border people, I can be able to get a seat. These guys have no idea what to do when they get there. They have no idea. And so the gap continues becoming very big. So what we are saying, people don't change. You can't give up. Look at the loan. When you go to take a loan, the bank will ask you, let me look at your account. Let me see what you have been doing for the last 6 months. We should be asking people, you want to come and get our vote? Let's look what you have been doing for the last 10 years, 10, 15 years. What have you done that can make us know you can become a leader? David said, before I go for Goliath, I've killed a bear, I've killed a lion. Therefore, I can do this. Politics is only thing that you come 6 months and you want to be elected. Look at when you want to become an elder of a church or a pastor or even a deacon. You have to get to church. Be checked for 1 year. Go through a lot of crisis, be checked for 5-10 years before you are given opportunity to speak to people. How is it this time in the political, that is Christian leadership, that's church and all that. Look at by the time you get to a CEO of a blue chip company that you know of, Lynn, you have gone through a lot of checks.
Yes.
But we take politics so casually. Who do we blame? Even ourselves. Because we always know, politicians know, if I can go the last minute and create a wave, I would be elected. Let's step back. We have time. We have seen what has happened in this country. Let's take time, plan properly for the next elections. God has given people, after every 5 years, there will be a repeat. After every 5 years, there will be another chance for you to see whether you have learned your lessons. So let's take time. Let's get people that know they have some passion, they have a calling, the capacity and knowledge. I didn't say education, I said capacity. Capacity is bigger than education. You can have somebody educated in some way, but they don't have the capacity to be able to lead, right? So we are looking for people with the passion, capacity, people who know what they are doing. That for me is a big thing. And for me, I don't go to these positions because of what I'm getting as a person. If I can't serve, if I can't say deliver rather of what my expectations, and it starts with my conscience, by the way, it's about individual. There's somebody who doesn't mind. I'm okay. I have a salary. I have a vehicle. I'm being saluted. I have a whole team of people. But for me, I'm like, what is my conscience telling me? Do I want to enjoy just because it's there? Or do I say, wait a minute, this is not good for me. This is not what I was looking for. And I go back to where I came from myself. Guys, I tried, but it's not working. Let's think this thing afresh. Because once it lost from the top, I can tell you, you can do anything else down here. Once the vision leader and the vision bearer is rotten, you can do whatever you can. You can only go through the vision of the head, for example, of the family. I always tell people, the vision of your governor or MP or MCA, you can never go beyond. Because all of you will be going to him. So if his vision does not go beyond there, you will all go there until you get another person. It's that simple. You can never go beyond. I may have very good ideas, Lynn. I go give my ideas and advices, whatever I am. If that level got dead long time ago on new ideas, or they have a way they do things, you never go anywhere. You can just survive and say, I'm paying a loan, let me survive, get some salary and all that. But what happens to your calling? What happens to your connection with God? The day he will ask you, what were you doing?
Yes.
What will you answer? Because there's a bigger calling, not just a salary.
Yeah.
We live for something bigger. Let me tell you, we need to live for something bigger. If you want to live for what you can be able to do, you just go dying slowly. You remember my Smulo,
Yes.
So much wealth, in the tubes, because you decided you are living, but you are dead.
Good.
You are dead. Some of us are not wired that way. I'm sorry, because we know we are alive for just a few years. We don't know how much time.
Yeah.
We want to do the best we can on earth, so long as we are breathing. Because there are so many people who are not. Many people have lost their lives. God has given you a chance to be alive. Can you do? If you are called into ministry, if you are called into political leadership, go and do it nicely, with excellence. If it works, it works. And I can tell you, if many of us, Lynn, good people, we can be there and do the best we can, things will get better. We cannot give up. We cannot say, now we have given up on good leadership with here. We have given up on this. Some people need to come up and just say, it's possible. Let's keep on hitting until we get it right. It's possible.
It's possible.
It is possible.
I love it. And I love that, when you speak both ways. You've been inside government, yes, and now you are outside government.
Yeah.
We saw you stepping down as the head of government delivery service, citing a toxic working environment, right? And I know our audience, they want to know why we are in Haiti, but maybe could you address that? At what point do you term an environment a toxic working environment, and why did you really step down? Because this is not something we see right now. We don't wake up to civil servants saying, I'm stepping down because I can't work in this environment. We don't see that anymore, but you did it. So why did you do it, and what can people learn from your actions?
Thank you very much. Lynn, and I will give you that because it's good to let people know.
Yeah.
We were part of the team that actually looked for this government. It's good to give that back from Nakuru. We were part of the team that really began registration for the UDA since 2018. We went with that wave, right? And that's why I love, because I am in that side and I'm in this side, right? So we were involved and we did a lot of work, extremely a lot. And I want to say this today. We actually went against our son, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Many people, they defied him when he told us, don't vote for President William Ruto. We defied him so badly. It's something which we need to be written and even researched what happened. Because we don't know you are our son, but we thought this guy helped you 2013 and 2017 to win elections. So as we think, you have not told us any reason why we should not vote for him. So we defied, and I was part of the team, right? So we came to government to help deliver. That is a key word. I didn't come here as a civil servant to be given a salary and relax until I'm 60 years. No, me, I cannot be contained that way. We came there because, and so when I took up the first appointment as a senior technical advisor in the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Industry, I can tell you, Lynn, today, and it will be noted and written one day, the kind of work we did for this government. Have you ever seen passion? Have you ever seen commitment, determination to change, to do the right thing for the people? That was the clarion call. Because you are elected, the elections were just too close, you win by about 200,000 votes, So you need to go and do and say, indeed you knew what you are doing. Then when you see someone here working with passion, be very careful about them. I didn't say for pay, passion. Because the moment the passion goes, the moment you tinker with that passion, that guy is gone and done. There are people who work because of the money, salary, and all that, right? Because, well, me, I'm a good guy. I serve in a big office. We did all what we did in the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Industry. And I'll tell you this today. There's a report that came out last month that for the last 2 years, the FDI, the foreign direct investment that came to Kenya, beat all the other African countries because of the work we did then. It beat Nigeria, one of the other economic powerhouse. It beat Egypt. It beat South Africa. Kenya was leading in FDIs because of the work we did since 2022, 23 and 24. Just to go around, and you saw that, to go around the entire world and, countries go there and talk about Kenya and all that. Trade, you remember moving around AFCFTA, making sure Africa market is opened, right? Deals with UAE, deals with America. We did all that work. Not sleeping from 5 a.m. all the way to 11 at night, just to make sure, because there was no Minister of Industry. There was none, nothing. Nobody handed over that ministry from the other government. It was fresh. We had to recreate it. Then we went to public service for the first time. We opened it up. But before I leave investment, look at the manufacturing sector. I mean, we started the CIPs, County Industrial Aggregation Parks. We launched 17 of them. Since then, that was it. For the first time, we wanted industries in every county. And that was a lot of work. We did a lot of work. So moving to, of course, quickly to public service, we opened up NYS. We made it live, let people know what is NYS. We did the graduation live for 2 hours at Gilgil. I mean, this is work. So now, to answer your question, when you do all that, then you begin seeing people taking you like you have nothing else to do on earth. Like either they are fearing you, they are thinking you are too committed.
Intimidated.
Exactly. They are thinking you are how? Who is this guy? We went around every ministry telling them, excuse me guys, we cannot just be joking with the people. Tell us what you have done since we took over. Tell us what you are doing practically. Don't tell us, we are doing loads. How many kilometers and where? We sat on everybody. Would call a minister and the PSs and the directors. Wow, we brought the report to the president and said, this is what must be done. But immediately you are there, you began seeing the shifts. People are looking at you suspiciously. Who is this guy? Who is this team? Who are these people? I mean, we have been used to do ABCD. Everybody wants to do their own thing. There and there, you are saying, guys, I thought we came to work. I thought we came to work. And I'll tell you this in a nutshell. Frustrations, in a coded way. And then I said, wait a minute, guys, I thought we came to work, but if you guys have other ideas, it's not me. I will not be part of it. You not see me here, hanging around. If we don't agree on what I've presented, if it's not working, then you are told, wait. No, these are very good. We are sorting issues. Wait. It caught a place and I said, I'm sorry. You got me in publicly. You appointed me publicly. Actually, between me and you, the appointment was made publicly in Nakuru, my home county, seated there. Everybody was there. Then I said, so you want me just to kill me, kill my passion, then you just swallow me nicely, and I just disappear. I said, fine. I have a passion. I know what needs to be done. So you guys, you can remain with your work, but it has to be public. It has to be public. I've done political science. I've done political communication. I know about these things. So it has to be public. Guys, tuachane mchana peupe. And I penned that thing. It disturbed me. It's not something I woke up and did many weeks. Lynn, between me and you, I suffered emotionally. I suffered. I was like, what do I do? You don't just leave government. They can come for you. Okay? They can mess you up. But I can't stay here. It's going to mess me up. I can't deliver. The system is dying. There's no system of delivery. Completely. Nobody wants to do it in a way that can produce results. Yet I'm the head. So one day, do you know what will happen? Guys will go to my home county and say, this is a guy who has been whatever. So I said, me, I don't know there to reach. Please, let's be open. You guys are not saying anything. If you guys have a formula of doing it, you guys continue doing it. Let me go and do other things to pursue other interests. Then, that's number one. So internal frustrations and all that. But number two, you cannot do development in a toxic environment. The moment the atmosphere is toxic, however much you want to tell people you are doing development lands out of the window when there is toxic politics. I say toxic because politics is good if it's done well, because it's what produces governments. If you make sure people feel good, but if people feel bad about you, however much you come and tell them you want to do for them, they will not agree. Look, when you are still there, impeachment of the deputy president comes in.
Yeah.
And guys are like, wait a minute. You mean it's this serious? I mean, I know people differ in any relationship, political, trade, family, anything. And it happened. 2015, it was not good. I can tell you. We were here in this country. And the former president did some major reshuffles, targeting some people. And you and I know some people who are very senior today. And they were sacked. And it was some issue. There was some internal struggle, between the president and the deputy then. But it didn't go this way. Because there were issues. They were like, no, this is the first time. Let me not do this. Because we had agreed. Let's proceed. But this time it happened. Guys were like shocked. What are you saying? And I can tell you, once some people cross out on you, like this, anything else you come to tell them, it will not going to work, and it will never work. And I just told you, I come from a region. These are the people who voted, and then out of that, I was appointed to come with this team to deliver to them. And then they are like, this is betrayal. Then I asked myself, if this purge, because there was a purge that happened from around...
Yeah.
A purge of some specific people because of power dynamics of feeling these guys, I don't like the way they are moving like this. It was an intentional purge of, from some region, a region that I come from. So I said, they are purged there. The big guy who I could say, if I have problems, I can learn to, down. None other, a whole deputy president. Then I was like, I'll be next. And I can tell you that. Already I'm seeing the signals, and I knew this one is going to spare me. I've been having a very senior position. Lynn, the head of then now it's back to GDU. GDS 10 and then GDU now is just next to the PS and the CS. Very senior. So if a purge can happen to affecting the strong, powerful CSs from the region, and then their deputy, then who am I? And I said, if I don't go, if I don't take a decision now, with all what is happening here, I'll be sacrificed next. And it's going to be very bad. So I said, guys, it's okay. It's done. Fine. I did my best. My track record is known. And nobody can doubt my passion and commitment to do what we had to do. But if it has come to this, it's no longer possible to work in a toxic environment, both at work. Politically, it has been messed up. I want to give you an example of one of the presidents, right? He did a lot of work, especially all over the country. He did the loads and all that. Then post-election happened. And then you're like, but I thought we did work. So no, we don't need this. We don't need all this road. You can take it away. Those were the words, if you remember. Take your road. Why? Because management of politics. If you don't manage politics well, development suffers. And I can tell you, Lynn, what you are seeing today, you wake up in the morning and say, let's go this direction. You go spend 5 days. What about when you leave? What about before you went? We need to have a system and a structure of delivery. You can't do it that way. It's not possible. You need to come, get the projects being done. And that's what we proposed. Once a budget is done, let us know, as per the economic charters signed by every county, as per the manifesto, you come take all that, put into every ministry, if it's roads, water, and all that, right? Energy and all that, right? According to the budget. What we said, once the budget is done, all that projects, they should be published by the counties, showing the amount of money that's going to take, whether that money is exchequer or a loan from World Bank or a grant, because that's where corruption is. The loans and grants. Nobody audits them. Auditor General says, I can only audit taxpayers' money. Who audits all this money? That is where corruption is. Those are the things we saw. And we said, can we be serious if we are in government? Because don't call me, I'm in government. I see a lot of unseriousness, then I stick there. Now, my conscience cannot allow.
Are you telling me, having been the head of government delivery system, that right now you can confirm we don't have a working system where we can be able to check out the government deliveries?
There is nothing like that. That is what was refused. Because I said, guys, thank you for the letter. Thank you for the appointment. Can we get to work? Now, how do we work? Guys, let there be a system. These days, stop about manual. Everybody is online. Publish. Once can every CS sign that these are the projects they are doing, and they have been funded by who? Every CS to take responsibility and sign against the projects. Goes to cabinet, it is stamped that these are the projects. After that, I take that, we go publish it. In every newspaper online, guys, Turkana, Sambulu, Muranga, this is it. Now, after that, there will be a system of tracking, okay? Track. Remove all the, bottlenecks, whatever issues there, and it is there in the system. Once it is 100%, now the president can go and launch or send a PS or send a CS. That is how public money should be utilized. There is nothing that a public, not even a public, there were supposed to be two systems. Now one for internal, right? Yes. So that now if there are issues, it can be, internally, the PS there, what happened, the team on the ground. Remember, there are people all over who are supposed to be working, okay? Tracking government projects, right? And the GAO and all that. Report weekly, 2 weeks, if there are issues. Then, but remember, the same projects have been given to Anjiko, so that they can also track and see this is what is happening. Now, for them, it's for feedback.
Yes.
The same projects here being pursued internally, they are with Wanjiko there. Wanjiko, her work is to say, no, but it's now 6 months. This was supposed to be budgeted for. We have not seen anything. We saw Kenya Power or Lelek come and put in electricity poles, but it has never been connected. Just lays in the system, no talking, no manual. You are seated and you are seeing questions coming. Like, oh, wow, there's a problem here. And don't wait for a whole financial year, Lynn. Corruption will have done its part. 3 months, 2 weeks, let's see. Why is it? And then we release a schedule. The schedule is the first 3 months of financial year, Lynn, approve the procurement plan. The other year, do procurement. January of every year, project should be done for 3 months. So that between April and the end of financial year, the contractors are paid. So they should be completed. Launching should be done after that. Nothing. I love Jabo Mambo. Everything is happening left, right, and center. There is, I can confirm to you, and I told them, guys, this is what ought to happen. If you think otherwise, I'm out. Then, toxicity. I'm there, being called to go and defend government projects in Mount Kenya. And I'm there, and the first question I'll be asked, oh, you are in government. Why are you impeaching the deputy president? Really? I'm not the right person to do that kind of work. You have to maintain. Don't bring in politics of betrayal and conmanship and deceit and expect that you come and do development. It's not possible. Those two things cannot work. Yeah. What you are left doing, Lynn, is to move around, what I call politicizing development. It cannot work. You go because you have to go and try to whip people. These things is for 10 years, unapaka rangi, inakuwa mpya, una lounge. There's no intentionality. There's no that deliberate move that I want to change the lives for people. Because now, when you lose it, and then you begin now looking for people now, this one is out. I have to go bring, Raila Odinga to balance the equation. Now there's no development in that situation. You already messed it up. Because, and why am I going back to this? Because remember, I started by saying, for you to be in government, you are elected. the votes came from somewhere. If you destabilize that and think you are still winning, you lose yourself. It's not possible. So for me, I had to go back and say, guys, I tried. We did our best. It was good while it lasted. But now, this, whatever idea we had to be together, go there and work. It's no longer tenable. It's no longer working. And you have to go and be sincere to yourself and say, we have to plan this afresh. Once there's betrayal, there's nothing you can do. Let me tell you, trust gone is gone. And that's a big issue. Trust gone is gone. And that is it. We had worked very hard despite all the issues. And then there was, there's a lot of, there's something called government. It's called government because it is made up of systems, processes, structures, institutions. That's why it's called government. The moment the decision-making style is completely the other way around, you cannot call that government. You cannot come and say, Lynn, there have been presidents in Kenya since 1963, right?
Yes.
So many presidents. But you come and say, now, me, I know so much, and what you guys have been doing since 1963 is nothing. You come and change everything, just at once. Change education, change health, go and open borders, right? Do you know the former president who went to Mandela during his term? He was asked the same question. We are being oppressed on the issue of IDs. Are you trying to say President Uhuru Kenyatta didn't have enough intelligence not to do what he did? What about Moi? What about Kibaki? They did. But they are saying, because of peace and security, let's go through. But he comes and proceeds. So the former president said, let's go and check. It didn't happen. This one was told, now you must do something. But because of what I call private and personal interest, you go and sell the whole country. Okay? Because you are thinking, Mount Kenya is gone, I have to get another vote. So for me to get a vote, these guys have to have IDs. For them to have IDs, I have to make a proclamation. We are still looking at it, our legal team, to see whether it's supposed to be constitutional. Because again, this is very serious. You want to, everything, you want to do health, you want to do that. Look at Haiti, what we are going to discuss here, something which have never been done. So you are like, you guys presidents in the past, you don't know how to rule. Let me come. You do all that alone. And when the people, I can tell you, I want to salute today the civil servants. These people are so hardworking. The people, the 1 million, okay, working right now, the civil service in Kenya, don't ever, not let nobody talk about productivity for these people. They are so hardworking. These are the most brilliant minds you have in Africa and in the world. Some of them are being poached every day. Directors, senior directors, senior staff, they have a lot of knowledge. But I can tell you, Lynn, you can only advise up to some level. Once you had it over here, if it's not taken up and implemented, other things happen in the middle. So when you finish a meeting, the next thing you'll be called, no, forget that aside, this is what is going to be done. And they just hush. They just keep quiet. They just keep quiet. There's too much. Let nobody blame government staff. It's about the people at the top there. That's why there's so much things happen. And by force, you have to push something in the housing levy. Go to high court, go to court of... Surely, okay, fine. You can go and do whatever because judges are human beings. They don't want to be in a crash with the government. But surely, from high court, people appeal, court of appeal, you go all the way and you are pushing. I have to win this war. Never mind that when finally you collect the money, you don't know even you didn't know what to do with it. You take to bonds. You go government competing with me with my 5 million, 2 million, 1 million to go and invest in bonds, 60 billion one day. Wow. It's government eating government. So the whole issue is lack of systems. And one lecturer, I must tell you, Professor Fred Jonyo was my lecturer in the University of Nairobi Political Science. He told us, I remember his words like yesterday, the biggest problem in Africa is that people or leaders don't want to follow processes and systems because once they put processes and systems in and they begin running, even you, when you come to interfere, they will crush you. Why they don't like them? Because they want it to be just like that so they can interfere, have loopholes for corruption and looting, and because there's no system. Once you put a system on how things are done, even you'll be beaten by it. And that's the beauty about putting a system. If, Lynn, I don't intend to put my company to go and eat share money. If I am for sure interested in changing a system, I'll get advisors, get people the best, tell them, no, go check with Germany, check with African countries, check with US, get the best system, let it run. But if you want to go pushing other things, you want somebody, to own the system, the 2.5% going somewhere. You want your friends to go there and do ABCD. I can tell you, you'll not allow a system to work. You want something you can manipulate. And that's the biggest problem we have. That's the biggest problem we have. When people say, no, me, I have a house, I have a mortgage I'm doing, why can't you listen to these people? And then when you ask questions, please answer. Nobody is saying nothing. Nobody is condemning. I'm a Kenyan, right? I can't go nowhere. I'm still here, even after leaving government. But when people, I've been telling people, please, I would cringe and say, God, when you ask a question, answer. Don't begin throwing tantrums. Oh, people, what do you mean people are inciting people against government? How? And you are the government. You have everything, machinery, power to communicate, you have the media, you have everything. How can you say people are inciting? Come on, just calm down. Just answer the questions. Where is it? It's a state officer who said, not me, not opposition. There's a company that is receiving 2.5% of every money contributed by SHA. Then when you are told Kenyans are not contributing because of the 2.5, they are wondering, if I'm going to contribute today and it goes through that door, who owns that? Just answer that question quietly, calmly. Come and answer the question. Don't go around. Don't beat the bush. Don't begin moving CSs. I pity that lady. Let me tell you, we are finishing careers in Kenya completely. It is no longer active to go out for government. I'll tell you today. People used to be happy. This guy is a CS.
Yes,
this guy is a
government.
PS. This guy is a senior technical advisor. Dr. Mbae, I'm a senior advisor on government delivery. No more. Because you don't know how long you're going to last. Kitambo, it used to be 2.5 years. Normally, in Africa, all over the place, midterm.
Yes.
You review your government, you change CSs, right? But it came from 2.5 years to 1 year, 6 months, 2 months to a month. Right now, you are not sure.
2 weeks.
Whether it will be 2 weeks, because something will just happen. No
Yes.
system, no structure. There's nothing of how do I get this CS so that he can last this time. It's, no. We need to bridge a gap because of politics. We need to manage politics and to please this kind of people. Bring someone. Never mind you have a sitting MP, but because you have to go and make sure the DP, CS Mutuli feels bad. Remember, the MP was his MP. And he is senior to him. And they are related by clans or something. You must go there and make sure you occasion a by-election just to make sure your point is heard. To get somebody who is, then somebody was asking, you mean there's no other person from there? Who can? Because this guy has a job. To come in, but because you want to inflict maximum pain. Now that is what you call a corrupting country. We can't live like that. Because everything is like, some impasse of something. Even if you move how many CSs to health, I can tell you today, before you answer those questions, nothing is going to change. Nobody. People are dying because NHF used to work the way it used to work. Now, people who used to depend on it on all these kind of things, they are not able to do it. It's a problem. And we have been asking a question. Okay, tell us. Okay, NHF was bad. Okay, fine. What was wrong with it? Why couldn't you amend the act to seal the loopholes? A very simple question that can be asked by somebody, some student of,
Class 5.
Class 5. To be what was wrong. No, there were so many people paid in bills of that 3 billion who had gone there, infiltrated the system. I ask a question. Lynn, anybody who have the capacity to go and extract paid-in bills, NHF, and do corruption with the NHF is not an ordinary person. This is people who know who is who. Somebody who a call is made and is told, can you give that guy a contract to makeshift hospital? The people who they benefited from NHF is the who is who in this country. Somebody who knows the other. It's not Wanjiku from Moro or from Kagio or from Turukana or Vihiga. It's not. So don't come and give us drama. It is you who created the problems in NHF. Now, what you want to do, because a new system has to come, 104 billion. Remember, to update NHF, it was costing 700 million, right?
Yes,
Less than
only,
a billion. Only.
Less than
now,
a billion.
104 billion, but because some system has to come in, that will be eating the 2.5 million, a lot of hurabaro has to be made like the NHF was bad. Nobody answers. 2.5 by their own state officer. Auditor General is paid by the state every month, a big salary. She goes and says, I asked for questions, you didn't answer. Therefore, the report is here. So what are we saying as a country? These are issues that we need to discuss, and they are not easy, but that's where we are. Issue of systems. People don't want to put system structures because they fear that if they put them and they have personal interest, they are going to be vetted in it.
Can I ask an honest question? Does Ruto listen? Does he listen to advice from where you are sitting? Would you say he's a man who listens, or does he listen to specific people?
What happens is that why a lot of people are now in government are in fear. They just want to maintain their jobs, but there is a lot of, I can't do much, because finally there's one guy who has to make decisions. Decisions are made elsewhere, and people are to implement. So I would say that there's a way he believes in himself. There's a way he knows, he believes in himself, and he believes that a lot of things that he thinks are the only things to be done. There's that a lot. So he'll have his way a lot of times, and you're left with, okay, fine, it's okay. There's so many people who have a lot of clients inside, and that's what he believes that finally, I need to have others. All these things will not be happening. All these are so many. Haiti people go to court, people do mandamano, people cry, throughout, but finally I'll have my day. Health, all those issues, finally. And I'm saying, please, don't get it mad. Just answer the questions. If people ask this, pause and answer that first, then you go to the next one. The jabo mambo things of doing things. Look at the finance bill of last year. Why did it mainly fail? You want to push this thing, but even the people who are explaining it, why is the treasury increasing VAT on bread? No, because they want to control people to get diabetes. Now look at that. Look at that. And to answer your question, you can only, they are very bright minds. Yes. You can only give your advice until the last person. What he does with it, you have no control. And that's why we are there. So those are all these other issues. There are so many issues, people asking questions, and Lynn, I want to say here, seated here, please. This is not about Mount Kenya and the president. This is about this country of Kenya. SHA is everywhere. Housing, reading the pay slip, those issues of Haiti, universal education model, all those, and they are coming every day. Look at a very simple example. The president comes and says, I'm banning Harambee in churches. Now, I want you to see the character and the personality. And we are talking here because we love this country. We don't have another country. I'm not intending to leave this country. Himself, and he appoints somebody to go and make sure, there's a law. Then he goes and thinks, what did I do? No. This is what I used to do to get to the presidency. I went to church and he was told, no, you made a mistake. Somersault, And then, why don't you, somebody said, only fools don't change their minds, right?
Yes.
Then come and tell us, by the way, I agree.
I made a mistake.
But you guys Kenyans, me, I think if we go back to this thing, what do you think? No, kifua, nini, munasema nini. Hata wacha 5 million, ili ya zamani. 20 cash, na ingine mia inakuja. The following Sunday, 14, huko. Then he sends his people, you know that, every Sunday, yes. There's something going on, some parts. Mount Kenya waliwachanuka. No, please, drama ingine hapana. Do you know, churches in Mount Kenya, there was everything. If lined up like this. So Mount Kenya, you'll not see him doing that. Tulikujua. But you see now, you take that now to another place that doesn't know him. The issue of, soccer matches, going there, boda, nini, pangalini, all that. It was told, but he's pushing so mercilessly. You are like, okay, si basi hata ujifiche. Or you just call some session, you say, I'm consulting how to introduce this thing. One, there's a reason why people said we don't want. Because it was meant a conduit for corruption. You can't come and begin parading money. People are hungry. Remember, this was before the impeachment. The anger started a long time ago. Actually, around mid-2023. Yeah. And you are with money, like cash. 5, 10, 20 million cash dishing out in the name of Harambee. So guys got angry. There's a reason why it's all there, but somersault. Now, what I'm saying, I cry for this country. As a person who would love to see transformation, we have a big problem, Lynn, and we just want to know. We just want to see that the way things are supposed to be done, there's too much. Why did the Gen Zs go to the streets? Lynn government. If you remember, if you go back and check the demands they gave, Lynn government, the PSs were supposed to be 30. But the more guys forgot, they came to 40. The more guys forgot, Gen Z kitu gani? It came to 52. It stayed for 52 for a long time. Until this time, that about 10, 15 PSs from Mount Kenya were supposed to lose their jobs because of the association, because they were brought by the Ligigi. Then what happens? No, this voice will be too much. I've already messed up here, and I'm going there. It's going to be another cry. So what do? Add another. Listen, the Gen Z was lean government. You expand government with another 20 people, senior, all of them. Let me ask you, how do 10 people do the same thing? Already that is confusion. Because, I mean, how? How do you have, because you want everybody, it's not possible. Because the decision making will be problematic every day. It will be problematic every day. So those are things we are saying.
Yeah.
We don't see systems and structures. We don't see where you can say, look at, for the purpose of comparison, look at the Kibaki government, right? The guy would come, agree on a budget. He's an economist and says, go and implement PSs, CSs, would go and flagship and commission projects. And no big deal. Just do it. But this one round, I can tell you where we are going. If you thought the other government, the Moyera government was bad, this is crazy because the script is more or less the same. There's a lot of me, you know, there's a lot of, you know, controlling me and all that. And finally, the issue of betrayal, I'll tell you this, is hard, is bad. And because this one has gone, now you think, let me rush here. You don't know the playbook of the opposition. Remember, there's no more Azimio. It's now ODM. Because Kamba left, the other groups left. So how sure are you? Ata kama unacheza karata. How sure are you that these guys, one, will have the numbers to help you? Secondly, whether they'll be with you. Look at the two camps in ODM. Raila is very clever, very sharp. There's one team, Sifuna and Boboino this side, and Akina Urengo and Anyang, but these are the guys Akina Joho and Oparanya that are in government. So he's playing cool. You guys continue PSs, ambassadors. Because they said this time round, we have to be in government.
Yes.
Remember later what he did last time? He was in government and not in government. He was supporting Uhuru outside.
Yes.
And he lost. This time he said, no, because we don't know about 27, can we first eat? So please, Raila, from AU, can you come? Keep quiet. You relax. Let us get to government, CSs, PSs, everything else. But I can tell you today, even if Raila decides he's going to support President Ruto, number one, assuming the 4 counties Nyanza, because that's the whatever, he'll not have Gen Zs, he'll not have half of the people. When Raila was vying, he had 70% of the turnout when he was vying. So if he's not vying, he's supporting Raila, Ruto. Maybe 40%. So these are the realities we are yet to see going forward. But for now, what is important is to see how to galvanize and see where we can have change. We are going to see people from all over the country, right from Mount Kenya. You know, there has been this talk, everything is about Mount Kenya, everything is about the Ligigi. No, we have a wide one. Teams are coming from Northeastern. People are coming from Rift Valley. Nyanza, you're going to see people joining the loyal opposition. Now to come and say, can we have a honest conversation to how we are going to change this country? These are things we must talk about. But allow me, Lynn, talking about Haiti for a minute. Because it's one issue, especially on my area on peace and conflict. I've been talking about it a lot. I've been writing about it a lot. I'll tell you 2 things. One, you go and push these things across everywhere. I think even the matter went to court, right? Finally, yes, goes to Haiti. Now, it is under this UN mission, supported by Council, but no funding. We were hoping Biden would fund. Trump comes and says, America first. Listen to this. We buried one young man. Another one, they say, is missing. But the Transition Council have already given condolences. Already. They have already given condolences about the saying that guy is no longer there. Now, today, the news I got last from my sources from somewhere, 2 more soldiers have been injured in Haiti, as we speak today, I think yesterday. They have been injured badly. And when you hear injured, that's not a very good story. What is happening? These guys have no money. They have no salaries. And number 2, they don't have equipment. They are old equipment. Actually, most of the time, they are being ambushed when trying to repair the equipment. Armored vehicles. Armored vehicles are too old that, bullets are piercing through. Actually, one of them was injured it pierced through an armored vehicle. Because they are old, there's no support. So what I'm saying, and this is purely as a Kenyan and an expert on governance. If then we went, because it was a risk, you can't go begin saying that we are paying the money, a poor country like Kenya, Funding a UN mission, hoping to be paid by who? There's no framework. We were hoping Biden would do that. There's no framework, right? Number two, do you know already, I think Kenya has spent over 9 billion. Money we are supposed to buy drugs for HIV. Remember, the funding has been curtailed. Money we are supposed to do dams for our people, for food security. We are taking that money from the budget to go and fund Haiti. First, we don't have the money, right? But we have given the money in the hope we are going to be refunded. Do you know what's going to happen? This is very serious. Lynn, if we continue this way, we'll continue losing our soldiers. Why can't we eat the humble pie? Just let's admit we had wanted to help the world, but we even have not helped our home ourselves. And we call our boys and our girls because they are going to get more casualties there. They are going to be more casualties. So again, our team, we have told them to look at the laws and everything else to see what can happen. Maybe a petition to cause the government to recall Haiti people back home and call it gone. We can't continue like that. Let's be serious. It's not something we cannot go to begin. We want to be celebrated heroes, you know, big boys on the international stage that we saved the world. We saved Haiti. That's who. When we have issues here, we cannot be able to finish. Pending bills have not been paid. Billions of shillings. People are being auctioned every day. Can we have our priorities right? That's all what I'm saying. And when people cry out, please answer the questions. And if the questions are justified, just retreat. Take another angle. Don't force everything. That force is what people are mad about. Lynn, don't come and tell us inflation has been whatever, Dora. The taste of the food is with the eater. It is about how do people feel about the economy. How much does that border make today as opposed to 2022? The market woman, how much is she making in a month or a day? That is how you know the economy. Do you know what is happening? Money is flowing in very few people's pockets. And when they make that money, because a lot of that money is not earned, it is stolen money, they take it abroad. There's no money in the economy. That's what is happening. That's why you see there is a whole problem with the common people. There's no life. Because money is being made, but it's taken outside. I met a friend of mine, 2022, and we argued for a whole hour. Just after the elections.
Yes.
I told him, you know what, Peter? I foresee problems with this economy, the way it is going to be managed. Because of the policies of this government, I am taking my money from Kenya, billions of shillings. He's a businessman, to Tanzania. How many people have done that have not met? People, so many. Even the good people with their good money, they don't trust Kenya. They're taking the money outside because they don't trust Kenya. Now the people who, because they know we are here to eat, they are taking the money outside the country. That's why there's going to be a problem here. All this other talk is talk, I can tell you. The reality of it is that we are doing very badly. That one I can tell you.
Okay. Yeah. So let me ask, honestly, so why did we then go to Haiti? Because people have asked, we have Congo here. Of course, I know we went to Congo, but of course our people came back. But we have a lot of ways we can be able to support our neighboring countries. What did Kenya aim to gain by going to Haiti?
I think, and this purely from a subject I love called international relations.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me from my own analysis and from what I know, there is, do you know how you grow up and you have this dream of conquering Africa, conquering the world? You want to be on the world map, being celebrated at UN meetings, you know, guys clapping at you, you know, being invited to come and give speeches, you know, because of how you saved the world. You know, there's that thing, you know, and that is the only motivation. That, and you see, you remember Biden would praise him, you know. I want to thank Kenya, you know, for taking the lead in Haiti. You know, what kind of things. But you're not taking the lead because you are rich. Big countries, superpower, billions of shillings of trillions of GDP, they're not going to Haiti. Who are you? I mean, but because we have this bravado thing of, doesn't matter who cares and who is listening to me or not, we have to go. Look at Liberia and other places where we went. Structured, funding, completely there. Then we contribute troops, right? Then it goes on well. This one from the word go, how we cannot, there's no way we can go to a mission if there's no support, if there's no funding. And I can tell you today, the only reason we have lost one young man already buried, another one missing, we are hoping for the best, another 2 injured, another that are going to be injured, is because we were poorly prepared, ill-equipped to be in Haiti. I've asked you, according to me, is that issue of, you know, conquering the world. but at the expense of our people, at the expense of our economy. 9 billion. Now the money will not come, another 5 billion. Where will I get that money? Is it necessary? Look at Trump, the biggest world economy. He said America first. He said America first. So who are we to say Haiti first? Now, we don't mind because we have soldiers if there was money. These guys are not paid for 3-4 months, waiting for money to be processed. When they cry, now we release some money here to go there. But now we have no money to buy equipment. Those equipments are old. They are being targeted. Now, the enemy has known that we have weaknesses. He's zeroing on that. It's going to be very bad. And I can tell you this, I don't know what you're going to do. We have our team of people, think tank, that we are thinking about it. And one of the things we may have to do, we'll see what is possible, constitutional and legal to do to recall those troops. It's not necessary.
Do you feel strongly they should be recalled? Like
yesterday. It's not going to work. You cannot come and tell me we are going to get a refund from where? Where is the framework? If you're telling us there's some negotiations happened and these 10 countries committed to fund Haiti by June, we can say, fine, we can stay another 2 months. But there's nothing like that, Lynn. Nowhere in the world is there any framework to fund Haiti as we speak today. Nothing. So, but as we already have our people there, our young men are being killed. So let's be serious. Now, I've mentioned to you like 10, 15 things. All this drama is just too much. That's where we are. And I'm just telling people, we need to be on the lookout because, like I said, God always gives another chance. There's something unique called universal suffrage, where every man is given a right to vote. 1 vote plus 1 vote. So it's people to prepare themselves. Let guys get IDs.
Yeah.
I mean, the IDs we have been made free, but who brought the charges? The same government. Look at that. Where did they get intelligence to charge ID? But I'm talking about now systems and structures and institutions and processes. Nothing. It is zero. We are scoring very badly. You go because you want money, okay? You want revenue. You go charge young people, which is completely nobody should be charged to become a Kenyan citizen, because you don't know whether they have the 50 shillings, 300 shillings, and all that. Now, so that you go put the figure, you remove it so that we celebrate you. No, you found this government. I mean, when we are voted in, there was no charges for the ID. So now we have IDs, fine. We are going for voters. Now, look at this, Lynn. Since 2021, 1 year before elections, there has never been any new voter registration in Kenya. About 6 million young people, they are eligible, they don't have a vote. I asked IEBC, you have a functional CEO, 290 constituencies, returning officers. You have 1,000 staff.
Being paid.
Today, 1,000. With everything, vehicles, fuel, every day, allowances. So how comes that we must wait for a chairman and commission to do something as simple as voter registration? Oh, the act says IEBC. Who is IEBC? The chairman. I said, no. Those are things we are pursuing to go and ask the court. Surely can we be serious? Can we describe this constitution and the act? Because voters should be continuing. Now, look at the drama with IEBC. Nothing happens in this country. Just like that. I can tell you that. Because we have been in this world. We know what happened with the BBI. We know what happened. It passed through MCA, Senate, National Assembly. Then, poop, the courts. Yeah. Nothing happens. Now, look. IEBC panel over 2 years. Just a panel. Not IEBC commission, a panel. Why? You are told go to court and stop it. You go to court also. Go to court, 4 courts. You just mental, just try to bring complications. Today, some people are saying, you can mess something. Let me tell you how politicians think and people with power.
Yeah.
You brander so that people can go to court and drag this thing. How can you allow somebody who has been a UDA, you don't know about government, UDA tribunal to be shortlisted? How on earth? The act is so clear. You must not be a state officer. Then you come like 10 state officers interviewed. But you can do that deliberately because the aim here we are seeing, you delay that so that the IEBC constitution is delayed. The act is very clear, the constitution actually. IEBC must be in place 2 years before elections. 2 years is August. You drag this thing, people go to court, and you are happy, clapping. Then August comes. Then you are like, no, we cannot have elections in the 2 years because there's no IEBC.
It's unconstitutional.
Yes, so you say you can't. So, and in the Senate today, there's a bill that is alive. Moving amending the constitution to move the term limits. Nothing happens. How does a bill go to second reading? all the way from somebody conceives, it is written. Remember, somebody has to go sit down and do a bill. It's work. It's work. I can tell you that. I've done that. It's a work. It goes. The speaker allows it. The speaker has to allow. Any bill, it has to make sense. You can see it doesn't make sense. It needs out of it, but you allow it anyway. Second reading, all the way. Then the committee comes and says, no, some things are not, but it doesn't die. It's still there today, waiting for the right time. So this thing of getting the wrong people to be interviewed could be as a result of the system, because they know people will not agree, they will go to court and push this thing. So that now August comes, we are in a constitutional crisis.
It's by design.
These are things you're talking about. You are elected very popularly. People come and cry tears. In church, please God, you are voted in, then you go change. It ought not to be that way. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Don't go ask for a position that you don't know what to do with it. You're going to mess yourself emotionally, physically, and if you're not careful, even the years God gave you, you're going to have problems on this earth. You're going to mess yourself up. It's not fair. You don't mess up so many times and so much. The other year, the bullet was, there was a people there was whatever. This time, the people out in Nini, now IBC. Everybody's looking at IBC to try to see whether they can do for them. And unfortunately, we have leaders here who are very good students of leaders from across the region who are being told every day what to do. How? Don't allow. That's why you see, you remove the opposition person who is disturbing you because he's asking so many questions, and you are a big man, you want to rule. You must accept the constitution changes. You cannot rule like Moi who had the old constitution, right? You must change your mind and know this is another world. You cannot the same way. You come, remove the DP, then now, just like IBCG, now you follow him to make sure he doesn't meet people. I was in Naivasha on Saturday. We were with in a church. Then we said, let's meet people. Why not? Just say hi. The way you can say, I want to say hi. Police were sent. I don't know how many contingents, but you could see like 100, 120 all over with, and canisters, tear gas and all that. And then we are there. They are blocking the roads to the venue. We just dodged them, and somehow we were able to speak in Naivasha town. Then we went to Maimahiu. Tear gas was thrown. Immediately the DP arrived. So I'm thinking, this is the same Lynn G who was saying, this is a person all over the place. Then he's actually making sure he doesn't speak. Just like our neighbors. Just make sure opposition is curtailed, no speaking, no nothing until the end. Really? Is it you? Is this, are you sure that Kenyans are that timid? I don't know. But finally, it's back to the people. Let's hope this will work. 6 million voters are going to come on board. People, the loyal opposition are going to plan themselves well so that they're able to know what to do. Mount Kenya Legion had already offered to give Ruto the presidency for 10 years. So they were not expecting to be president in 2027. I can tell you that for free from authority. So just look for who is going to be president. Mount Kenya may decide not even to go for the deputy president. I can tell you that for a fact. Just to make sure that we are that label, that we are tribalist, that to show that they are not tribalist, that we can, for the purpose of this country, for the purpose of a change of leadership, we can be able to do ABCD. That's where we are in.
Yeah. Beautiful. Maybe before I let you go, if something does not change, if we don't change our ways, especially the politicians, what do you predict could go wrong with our country?
What I think is that where Kenya have reached, people have had a lot of time to reflect. These things happening, they're happening in good time. That people have time to think afresh and really focus. Look at what happened. 92, people are not serious. The new multipartyism, so guys were excited. And everybody went their way, everybody wants to be president. Then Kenyans lost. Moi came back. 97, the same. They were not yet evad, 07, they were asking themselves, wait a minute, what have you done? What have you been doing? The whole country came together. There was a moment of reawakening, a self-realization. And guys were like, that's why Na came, and everybody came on board to say, guys, this time around it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about just anybody. And the most unlikely candidate was like, no, you guys come, be the team leader. Let us move. Just that moment is what's going to happen in 2027. In everybody. Who do you think, Lynn, let me ask you, who do you think Gen Zs are thinking where they are? Who do you think? Look, picture 25th of June. What happened? Picture that picture all the way. And these guys then said, don't call us for a meeting. These are the issues. They wrote a lot of lists. You remember, they were circulating. Don't call us. We don't want that. We have had that before. Oh, dialogue, all this. We don't want. Just do what you're supposed to do. They have been watching. Now, most of those guys didn't have votes, didn't have IDs. Remember, 80 million didn't vote. Remember, 80 million didn't vote. Yeah. Qualified voters. Most of them must have been young people because they are like, what are we voting? Now, additional 6 million. Imagine what these guys are thinking. That's why I can tell you, people have decided, according to me, this time people have decided to make sure that we do the right thing. Like from MCA, people are saying, no, this time around it's not about the party. We want to know who are you? Why are we voting you? Are we going to be there to represent our interest or your own stomach? Look at how guys were paid some money, according to what is being said. 500,000 for an MP, 10 million for a senator, just to do something crazy. And they're like, you mean we elected you to be this cheap? Surely, even if it's money, we would have given you some money. So we are looking, people are talking about quality in a big way. People are talking about quality. People are talking about leaders who they think. That's why background check is a must. I don't have to say that I want to vie for Senate Nakuru just like that. Who are you? What have you been doing? What do you think you can do? And people, you give people time to look, to check you out. Go and say that, give people time to check you out. Let them talk about among themselves, who is this guy? Who is this lady? Where did she come from? Where did he come from? This time around, you are going to see a lot of that. And because of what has happened, the realization of change of leadership has affected all the way from MCA. So there's a lot of, with this time around, we have to be very careful. Yes. And you see people making very drastic decisions on leadership come the 2027, because that is only willing, because we said, as we don't want, even if things are very bad, we are not going to advocate for a regime change through unconstitutional means. And that's why we have a problem with this Ruto must go thing, the way it has been taken. Young people are just expressing themselves innocently. Nobody organized all those guys at Nyayo. Nobody organized all these other people in Kisii. But how CDFs gets into that controversy is what is raising a lot of questions. Remember, the military, there's still that order. The military can support police. It has not been lifted. So how a CDF comes to make it a big issue, something which young people are just warming up themselves, then are they trying to cause something through intelligence, then say there are people who are trying to topple the government, then say there's a state of emergency, so there are no elections in 27. Those are the issues people are asking themselves. We have done political science in class and in practice. We know what government thinks, we know how they do, and where they start. Because they have all this machinery. That is telling. That's why we are saying, please, can we remove that crowds that military can help police, number one. Number two, why you, since independence, are you the first CDF to come and talk about these things? Why you? What are you preparing Kenyans for? Do they want to arrest some senior opposition leaders and say they are trying to topple the government? Remember, I said the script here is Moi script. There's a lot of similarities. Where you plant more Kenya, you plant things, you plant guns, and say, these are people who are trying to overthrow the government. Please, we want us to be sober. Me, I'm a Kenyan. I have all the love for this country because as we were born. Let's be serious about ourselves. Yes. Let us just be serious. People need to understand where people are coming from. So those are the issues we have, and we hope for the best. We do hope. For you, maybe lastly, I know I've said a lot of finally, what legacy do you want to leave behind? One, let me start from the issue of on the issues of leadership. I'm looking to, because of what I've seen, the issue of being appointed, a very bad life. I don't want to go that life for a long time. You're appointed and then you are harassed and it's not working. You're moved from here to there. You know, people fear you because they think you have this, you are extraordinary, you are so straight, you want to work genuinely. So I've decided where I want to go back to. I want to go to elective politics, right? Where I can go and hold and say, I want to put people accountable. I'll be given the mandate to make people accountable. I'm looking to a place where, in that place where I'll be, I want to create systems and structures in the place where I'll be. What I'm saying now, right? Because before, I used to work with the first governor of Nakuru, Kennedy Abugo, as a member of Public Service Board, where we established Nakuru as a county from scratch. Completely, what I'm telling you about. systems and structures, everything that is there, we put it together because we are in charge of all that. Then I moved, I was elected as a member of the county assembly. And what did I do? Immediately I was elected, I called for public participation. I went to 10 villages. I asked them, please tell me anything on earth, your problems on earth. Don't tell me anything about God. You can talk to your pastor or clergy or father.
Here on earth.
On earth, we wrote everything down. Others asked for electricity. Others asked for everything. Then I said, fine, let me see what to do. I drafted and I did a strategic plan for Kabazi from 2017 to 2022. I implemented that thing up to 90%. I was given the award for the best performing MC during my last year. Yeah. What did I do? Electricity you give me, I don't know because that's the work of national government, but I went, found the guys at Kenya Power. They sent me to Lerek. I was able to do over 13 projects being an MCA. There's nothing impossible. It's about brain and personal interest. So I want to vie for Senate in Nakuru. And I'm saying, wait guys, you'll see what is Senate. Everybody is running to vie for governor because of the money. Most people, everybody you hear want to be governor, like 10 people. I said, no, it's okay. Me, money is not my motivation because I left a big job working with the governor, big one, by the way, with a vehicle, red carpet, everything, to go and vie for Senate, for MCA. And you know, the salary and all that, I knew me, I was not good for money. Let me just have my people give back, let me give back at the local level. Where people are telling there's a bridge here, there's a toilet from ECD center, and I did what I did, opened up roads and everything else, right? So I did that, set an example. So here we are saying now here, the work of the Senate is representation, oversight and legislation. I did one of the best legislation pieces in Nakuru County Assembly. The best, motions, notices, I did all that, yeah? So I know what to do. Number 2, oversight is about now what I'm telling you. You are here to make sure government does what it's supposed to do properly. But most importantly, representation. Let me tell you, Nakuru is that largest, biggest contributor to GDP in the country. Nakuru County. It is that biggest voter basket in Kenya. GDP after Nairobi and Mombasa. Votes after Nairobi and Kiambu. The biggest. But what should happen is this, is that once you give that wealth to the national government, there should be at least some reflection of the same amount of money coming back. Surely. But without systems, without the how. The national government money is like this. If you don't know how to go fight and try to get as much as possible, you'll take another place when people come and they're organized. So I want to be the voice, the link between Nakuru County in terms of representation. Did they title this for 40 years? That's neither here nor there because, an MP will say, me, nimejaribu. But you come there with a voice, galvanize everybody, and go and settle all those things that are overarching for a county. Good. Make sure opportunities, get people, expose people. I've been in trade. Surely, I've handled 47 counties. Literally, one by one. All the governors, one-on-one, when we were establishing all those things. I have handled countries. When we were doing trade, I handled 42 countries in Africa. Yeah. We have handled all the countries, most countries of the world. Surely, we can galvanize trade and opportunities for trade and investment and put it down now to one. Let's now zero down. I have served many people across the world. Lynn, time has come when I think, can I now zero down? Let me do something specific. And I can tell you because we'll be here with you. You are going to see change. Nakuru for the first time, it will have its place in the national and international stage properly to give an example on how it should be done. Because somebody said, don't pray about it, do it. If you want something done, do it yourself. Don't pray about it, of course, and all that, but can you see action and change? I want to be that example, that what I've gone to school to do, to study, what I've done, my experience so far. I want now to come and specifically say, this is what representation, oversight, legislation is all about. I want to do it by example. Good. That way now, somebody can say this is what I was doing.
Yes, all the very best.
Thank you.
Yes, and I hope we get to see it again as we talk about the changes and the dreams that you have for Nakuru, some years, some months or years to come. I hope that's a conversation that we can be able to have. But I know a lot of people are watching you with admiration because, as I said, it's rare. You are a man with a proven track record. That's rare. That is not something we can say for so many people. And we love that here on this platform, we don't call them leaders, unfortunately. We hold these politicians accountable because the work has to be done. The most hurtful part, I think there's a road in Sagana there are 2 flyovers
Yes,
that
yes,
have
yes,
been
yes,
there
yes.
for
Yes,
such a long
yes,
time.
yes, yes.
And we were just looking at each other and we were like, these are among thousands and thousands of projects that no one will ever
Yes,
get back
yes,
to.
yes.
But there's a lot of money that went into this project. So what happened? How do you build a flyover this side and then not have it come to fruition? Who does that? Which country? Which country? Kenya peke yake.
That's-
Yeah, so I hope you can also help us. For me, the pain is in all the unfinished projects
Yes,
we
yes.
have in this country.
Yeah.
And you've answered, we don't have a system or
That's
a
it.
structure
You can
where
track
we
it.
can just
You
log
can-
in
that is it.
and see this is flyover number this and this is the person who was in charge, this is the money that went into it, this is the reason it's still pending years later. We don't have that. And if we don't have that, we lose.
And that's the problem, because that was 2022.
Yeah.
You come, find the projects,
Yes.
quickly move in,
Yeah.
sort that one out. As you do new ones, again system. One of the things we were asking ministers when we went was, out of all the past projects, all the incomplete projects that we found as Kenya Kwanza government, which ones are priority that you want to take over?
Yes.
That's the question we asked them. So the question is, go budget for it, put it here, let people know information. And now finally, what messes up governments, I don't know in Africa many, but I know Kenya, is poor communication, late communication, stale communication, ineffective communication. When it comes late, stale. It's not convincing, because like now the question you're asking, somebody ought to have given. But you know what? Why they don't want to give? Silly, curly, secretive. Then that's why you ask, why do governments become unpopular?
Yes.
Because you are putting a secret after we voted for you. It's now you discovered you are a government. You don't know to communicate. And because you don't know to say where the money went. Because for the last 3 years, surely finishing a road, the Marua road, surely. But because maybe it was another president's project.
And that's not
You
your
want
legacy.
to go start your own.
And leave a legacy.
But you see, this one, because it's not your priority. And you jab, ministry will come and say Marua road, but you come and say, no. Let us do something else, where I think I'll get votes for 27. That is what I'm saying about politicization of development. Look at this road, Ironi Mausamit Road. By the time the president left, everything was done. Funding by French company, contract was done, they were waiting to start. A new government comes and stops it and cancels it. Any explanation? Zero. Not for the last 3 years. The kind of economic mess on this road, don't even go there. The kind of mess, and this is a road that Jomo Kenyatta used to use. 60 years, zero planning. Zero, nothing. Jomo Kenyatta himself. Many people even don't know Jomo Kenyatta. Those years, 1963, this road used to go to Kabarak. 60 years, governments cannot just do a road. When one does try to do it, it's cancelled, no explanation. Nobody knows today why it was cancelled. Then we are told in June. We are saying, fine, June, can you tell us who is a new contractor? This time around, because it's a better one, how much did they bid for? Who are the companies inside who are benefiting? Because everybody wants to eat from Apua Wajiko. You know, no, that one, they must have put some money inside there for some people. Okay? So even us, we must remove that contract, put another contract, so we are in it. Look here, when you are elected, you have 1 million plus allowances, you have medical cover, you have all these largesse, you have per diems every day, but you still want to eat Wajiko sweat. You want to inflate that thing, so there's 100 billion, or your company is part of that. You can be eating money, toll money every month. Now, look at that. That is why these things are what you are calling them. Stored, all that, cancellation of projects here, so that other teams can come in and begin eating. So we want to know who is a new contractor, how much money we compare with the French one. We'll ask for those reports. French, bring your contract. Let's compare the two contracts. What is better now? Who is in it? How much money? Is it a loan? Is it a grant? Is it what? For how long? Let people compare and see whether we have now a bigger deal 3 years later without us suffering. Yeah. Why was it cancelled? It's because of personal interest. By now we should be talking about this other road, the Maimahia's Escarpment. Duoling it all the way to Naivasha. And I want to be very categorical. That road, the Rironi one, was supposed to be done by the budget of last government. So this one, we are supposed to do all the Maimahia's Escarpment, which is a desert trap, as you know. There's a cliff here, and there are stones here. Anything happening, you come and sweep the vehicles around the way. The other day, a family lost 7 members on that stretch because it's a Kawan Karin there. So people overtaking, trucks, everything. 7 members of the same family have died in Kamirezo here. On that road is a death trap every day. The whole economy of Kisii, of course, Naivasha, Kisii, Narok, is that road, which is a death trap. 60 years later, we are here because of corruption, personal interest. We have to look at where are we taking the money now. Politics come in. Where now? Any money will go where they think they will get their votes. Never mind, they may not get the votes. But now that's what is happening. There's no system. It's where do we think we can get the votes? We take development there.
Yeah.
Those are the issues that we have.
Politicizing
development.
Yeah. Anyways, I hope we've learned. We are learning every day here on this platform. We are learning a lot of things. And I must say, Kenya is blessed to have people like you. If we had Dr. Peter Mbae in all different places, in all the 47 counties, but you see there is hope. We cannot afford to give up.
Never giving up.
We cannot afford to give up.
Every day there are people coming up.
Yes.
For every soul there's a David.
Yeah, but I can't let you go before I ask you this question on the FDI, because as I was doing my research, I read this and it said Kenya, we are experiencing fluctuations in the foreign direct investment, but other countries such as Tanzania are actually winning. Our politics influencing our FDI, and if we don't correct it, where do we go?
That curve, I told you the curve had started because of the works done.
Yeah.
The curve started going down in August last year. I can tell you the number of people who have left. The first 1 year, that 23 was very good.
Yes.
But from 24 mid, because of these issues of political instability, because of course you must balance politics for development to come. I've been saying that you can see the consistency because of lack of balancing the politics, and there is a lot of issues around all this kind of disharmony and people not being happy. Every investor wants a conducive environment. So when we talk about toxicity of politics, it should be taken very seriously.
Yes.
So I can tell you for the next 1-2 years, by the time another survey is done, you'll be shocked. People have moved. People have moved to Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, Ethiopia. Can you imagine? Somebody leaving Kenya for Ethiopia.
Ethiopia is stopping.
Can you imagine that? Already up there.
Yes.
So there's a lot of, people just moving out. And it will completely affect in a big way. I can tell you in another 1-2 years, if we proceed that way, and people want peace, trade and business and investment, the first thing they want is peace and just calmness in the country, political calmness, so that they can come and put money. Nobody wants to go to put money somewhere where, nothing much is going to happen, So it's a big issue. The foundation that was laid was very good. After that, and then you are shifting like 4 ministers within 2 years.
2 years.
Even then, the next minister knows I'm leaving anytime. Actually, the joke in the civil service now is that the directors don't take these big bosses seriously because they know, we have seen 3. You are the 4th.
Unfortunately.
So that thing of what you can say that you are doing work, saying, as a minister, as a PS, I am committed. I want to drive this thing so that in 1, 2, 3 years, you can see the results. However much 2 months, you can be out. So how much energy are you going to take?
I won't.
Nothing much.
Yeah.
That's why you see there are so many people, like now 60, I think, senior people in government, CSs, but I can tell you, ile kukufa na kazi, ati you are using all your brains. So guys are doing side hustles, guys are taking money from government and doing other things. Because they know even this government itself doesn't believe in me. Anytime I can go.
So why do I commit?
Why should I do all my work here?
Hey!
That is it.
Nikubaya.
That is it. But that's the truth.
Yeah, but as I said, we remain hopeful.
Let it kindly,
Yes.
why I'm here today is because, and why me I said, what would Abaye do? For 6, 3, 4, 5, 2, I said, I thought, and I went and prayed, I said, what would Abaye do? Okay, number one, there's a problem, admit. Number 2, admit there was a mistake with the whole configuration. So what you do? You go and say, it can be done. It can be done. It should be done. Nakuru, let's do this thing.
Yes.
Let's do this thing. It can be done. Guys come. Many mistakes happened. Many things happened. It's us who told you that this is the next miracle that's going to happen under the earth, electing this government. But things have happened. Things are not working. But come. Every day I go, I preach hope. I tell them, no, guys, don't give up. Me, if I give up, I will not be here. But I'm here because I'm telling you, no, we can recreate this thing. We can make it again. Because you can, so long as you're alive, you can never afford. You can never afford to give up. There are many people who give up, they are in the grave. I mean, people who God didn't want to be part of this life.
Yeah.
He called them home. But you are there. Just do something, in whatever situation you are. Just wake up again and say, God, another one more day. Right? Even in your business, in your relationships, in whatever you do, just try and say, no, God, you gave me life. May I tell God, sometimes I'm so down in and say, oh God, but I have woken up. If you didn't want me to be here doing what I'm doing, you'd have called me home last night. And there are people who die in their sleep.
Yeah.
But because you are alive, just say, God, you know me by my name. Before I was conceived in you knew me. So I'm here not because I'm just anybody, but you know me by name. It's you who created me. For that simple reason, God, I'll do my best on earth. I'll do my best. Whichever area somebody is called, just do your best on earth in that sphere. Some of us, only me can do what I did.
Yeah.
Not maybe you can be able to do it. So let me do what I can in my area. Galvanize the people. Talk about uniting, uniting this country. Of course, making sure that the party we are coming up with from the one led by the Rigathi Gachagua, that's what we are working on right now, to make sure it comes. Because the thinking is, only Mount Kenya was told, come without. Before we knew, PA has signed an agreement. Before we knew, Mutua has signed an agreement. Before we knew, ANC. So, that is called deceit. It's called conmanship. If we had gone with a party, today what we have would not have happened, because it was going to be difficult to impeach a deputy president who has a party and MPs. But the MPs were not Mount Kenyans. They were owned by the other party.
Yeah.
So it was easy to kick him out.
Yes.
So we are saying, let's have a party with our MCAs, MPs, governors, senators, that at least we know and have been elected by the people, being aware they are sending them for a specific task to not only represent them, but also galvanize the country and make sure that their interests are taken care of course. So that's what we are doing. And I'm part of that. So I'm playing that part. I'm in the middle of that. I want to make sure that we galvanize, trying to coordinate the whole country. And then, like everybody is saying, you'll see us everywhere in this country. I am a nationalist. I was born in Nakuru, where every community lives. I went to nursery and primary school with people from other communities. So I believe in other people. So we must start somewhere. Then we spread our wings everywhere. Yeah. And I can tell you, Lynn, you're going to be seeing this voice. Because we must stand up, what I'm saying here today, to tell Kenyans, don't be allowed to be put in a box. That is about Mount Kenya and the government. It's about the people of Kenya, who are all feeling the pain of what is going on. Can we stand, be united, be our brothers and sisters keepers, and try to make a difference wherever everybody is.
Good. Yeah. I love that. Shukran sana,
Asante.
Dr. Peter. I hope, as I said, I can get to sit with you for another conversation. But maybe before we wind up, is there anything you wanted to touch on we've not touched on? And if you feel we are good, could you maybe give a parting shot to
Thank you so
audience?
much. Good enough for today. It was good having me. Yeah. Lynn, I didn't know where my name came from for this. And I said, I was thinking, what is all this? But I say, I am in a place where I love sharing what I have.
Yes.
I love talking it. I love giving people hope and saying it's not done. It's possible to have things. Please, guys, don't give up on everything. Don't give up. Things can be better. Things can be done afresh. I want to tell everybody that so long as you have life, I mean, God is a giver of life, and there's a reason why you are alive. Good. To do just something small. Just do what you can, and God will always come. Every day I pray for wisdom, for knowledge, understanding, instruction, for whatever you're doing. And I know the favor and the grace of God is sufficient. I can tell you, things can be difficult, but I can tell you, the grace and the favor of God, every day, depend on it, and God will always come through. It is possible. Please don't give up. Don't give up on yourself, on your family, on your trade, on your business, on your country. No, we can't let, because people have given politics a bad name, everybody thinks politics is of the devil. No. Leadership, governance, and politics, it has all of it. It is put very well in the Bible even. It is there. For every Saul, there's a David.
Yes.
For every Nebuchadnezzar, there's a Deborah. There's an Esther. There's a Joseph. There's a Daniel. Why do we always think about the people, the bad people? Can we pursue for excellence? Let's go for the Daniel. Until we get the Daniel, just know we have not gotten it. Okay. But we can't give up. Oh, me, I'll never vote. All governments are evil. We don't. No. Come, plan again, and think what you can do. It's possible.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I think my take home, guys, is can we pursue for excellence? That is such a strong statement, but always I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you once again, Dr. for joining us on this conversation. And I can't wait for us to have more thought-provoking conversations. Let me know what your take-home has been on today's episode. And I always say your feedback is very important because it helps me curate conversations and it makes me aware that these are the kind of talks that you guys want to see. I also want to appreciate the team for coming together and filming this episode, and also our partners of today's conversation. Nasemanga production ni hard, and I love when we get to experience support from different people. So if you're in diaspora and you watched this and you want to send money to your loved one back at home, why don't you try using TapTap? And remember to use my promo code Lynn for a bonus. I don't want you guys to miss out on that offer, and give me feedback also on TapTap. We've been together. This is almost our third year, so I appreciate you, and also our amazing partners at Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. Yes, they are our new partners on the show. Why don't you check out the land that they are selling in Malindi, Makutano, Masinga, and also Matua? And guys, I've been on the ground. I have done my due diligence, but also I advocate that you also do your due diligence, because I know land is a very, very sensitive conversation. Check out the amenities, the roads, the water, the electricity, etc., and call them. Their numbers are on the screen. And also to thank you for tuning in, and our new subscribers on the platform. We do not take you for granted. Thank you for making LNN the most subscribed platform by a female YouTuber in 2025. That is not something I take for granted. I appreciate you. Hopefully I get to see you again. Oh, and our super producer EJ for putting this together. Yeah, guys, I love that you're also supporting EJ on his own separate conversations. Keep hyping him. I love the feedback that you're giving him, and who knows, nikikushindwa na hii kazi mtamuona hapa doing all this work. So I appreciate all the support that you're giving Edwin on the platform. So shukran sana. Hopefully I get to see you tomorrow, our usual time, 10 a.m. or 7 p.m. Bye-bye.
Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited, the leading real estate company in title deed issuance, welcomes you to Malindi Precious Gardens Phase 3, just 30 minutes from Marereni, and 50 by 100 plots are going for 199,000 shillings, and 100 by 100 plots are 350,000 shillings, and it's perfect for building cottages. We also have Matu Baraka Gardens Phase 3, just 5 minutes from Matu Town, touching Kivandini Masinga Bypass, offering 50 by 100 plots for 399,000 shillings. All plots are close to social amenities with 98% neighborhood development, and prices are inclusive of title deed. Book your site visit now by calling 0726 004455 or 0718 004455. Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. Title deed is our DNA.